Hey, what's up? It's Wick for Xiaomi Fi, and today we're looking at the Dreame V11, Dreame's latest iteration of their handheld vacuum cleaner. Is it any good? Well, let's compare it with the Dreame V10, and let's find out. Let's go. In this box, we've got a lot again. First, here's the instruction and maintenance manuals, then the vacuum cleaner itself, which does have a nicer color than the previous one. Then we've got an extension rod, a mic brush, power adapter, a flexible extension piece, the floor roller brush, a horizontal crevice nozzle, and a vertical, longer crevice nozzle. And lastly, a wall mount to hang the vacuum cleaner up to the wall with. The Dreame V11 has a 3000 mAh battery, which lasts for about 90 minutes on its lowest suction setting and around 10 minutes on max power. And this one has a Dreame Space 4 motor that gives up to 125,000 rotations per minute. It uses 450 watts, has a maximum suction power of 150 air watts or 25,000 PA. It's got an improved 12 cyclone filtration system and a 5-level filter. On its max setting, it produces around 73 dB, and this is significantly less on lower suction strengths. It's got a 0.5 liter dust collection box that can be easily opened up with the button, and it's got a removable filter for if you need to clean that. On the back, it's got a charging port, and additionally, it can be charged when mounted into the dock. On the side, it's got a battery indicator, which will show you the remaining battery life in 3 levels. And in the handle, it's got an on-off trigger, which you can easily grab to turn the vacuum on and off. The V11's got a display on the back of the handle, which displays the strength setting, and it's got a lock button, which allows you to lock the vacuum's on setting, so that you'll no longer have to continuously press the on button, but rather press it once to turn on and once to turn off. And on the bottom, you've got a button that will cycle through the 3 levels of suction power. The display also shows if it's locked, and it will show if you need to replace any filters as well. As mine is brand new, it didn't give me that message yet. The V11 does have pretty much the same accessories as we've seen with the V10. These can all be mounted directly to the vacuum cleaner or with the extension rods in between. And for those of you that wonder, yeah, the accessories of the V10 fit and work with the V11, and the V11 accessories fit and work with the V10 as well. So now let's test it out. Let's start with the motorized floor brush, as that's the one that you'll probably use the most. This one is quite flexible, it maneuvers nicely. It seems to be a little bit more powerful, but let's put it to the test. So here I've got some cat food, some crushed cookies, ashtray content, some sugar and salt, and some coffee beans to test it out with. And when doing the first run, I was quite surprised that it actually picked up everything in the first run. It did drop one tiny piece of a cookie, but the rest was all gone in a single go, and I haven't had it this precise with any of the other vacuum cleaners that I've tested before. In the rerun, you can see it actually did a nice job. So it surely seems to be a little bit stronger than the V10. I've also tried it out on a carpet, as you can see right here, on this little rug, and I've crushed some cookies on there, and again, it seems to work just fine. Then next we've got the motorized mic brush, which is good for cleaning the sofa or the bed, or anything with fabrics for that matter. And this one is just as I expected. I used it on the very first run on the sofa here, and it seems to do a good job, as it did get quite a bit of cat hair out of the sofa. I've crushed some cookies on the sofa as well and made a mess just like your kids might do, and you can see here that it did a very good job as well. Then we've got the 2 crevice nozzles. These come with a vertical and horizontal nozzle, and they've got a soft brush that you can pull up or down according to whenever you need it or when you don't. This one is good for cleaning things like a desk keyboard or a laptop, and for those harder to reach corners when using it with the flexible extension if you need to get behind stuff. So how much better is the V11 compared to the V10? Well, there's quite a lot of improvements. First of all, it's actually 200 grams lighter, yet it's got a bigger battery, it's got a slightly higher suction strength, it's got a new filtration and cyclone system, it's got motor improvements, it's got that continuous on mode, which is actually very nice. It's got much better feeling buttons than on the V10, because those were quite crappy, so that's a big improvement in my eyes. And the mentioned loudness levels of 73B is actually the same for both of their specs, but I really do feel that the V11 is less loud on its strongest setting, as it does seem to have some improved noise reduction. So the V11 has just been released in China, and it will be released internationally through AliExpress this week, where it will go for around $425 US, which does make it a little bit more expensive than the V10, but there will be a pre-sale where it will be around 40% off, which does make for a pretty good deal. So now, what do I think of the Dreame V11? Well, first of all, I do like that it comes in a new color scheme. It does look a bit better than the V10, which I kind of bashed for its looks a little bit. It does feel better, I mean like quite a lot better, especially with the much better feeling buttons. And the display on the back is a pretty cool touch, which also looks quite a bit nicer. I like that it's got quite the improvements on the motor. It's got an improved suction strength, the battery, and it's got quite some other small under the hood improvements compared to the V10. Its performance is really quite good. It's easy to operate, and I like the additional lock for the power button so that you don't have to constantly press it, which is actually very welcome. However, it does seem to be a bit more expensive than the V10, which might be a little bit of a downside, as it does have a little bit of a different price category. But then, in its defense, it really does feel better in hand, it's more powerful, it's got a bigger battery, it's got much nicer feeling buttons, and a display on the back, so the higher price tag is kind of justified though. So that's about it for the Dreame V11. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is something that you're more interested in getting than the V10? Let me know down here in the comment section what you guys think, and don't forget to leave a little like below the video to show me that you liked it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, well, know that you probably should, as I'm doing a lot of videos right here on the Xiaomi Fi channel. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see y'all soon. Peace!